Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and today we're going to go over the AK47 field stripping it and some of the different magazine options that you might have. Alright, beginning off first, of course, we're going to go ahead and check it, make sure that there's no rounds in the chamber. Always give it 3 times, third time's a charm. Now with the AK47, it's got its own cleaning rod. This is a Romanian stamped. It says in it, made in Romania. Also with this AK47, there's a cleaning kit that comes inside back here. And this is a cleaning kit. And inside this, there's just a couple of, there's a cleaning rod and a brush, a wire brush. And that's about it. I don't use this cleaning kit, but it's there just in case. Now the rod, I do use the rod, and it's got the little slit right there where you put your cleaning pads in and run through to punch it. It's a cleaning kit. With the AK47, it's pretty simple. You push the button in off the back. Sit that down, and you just slide it forward. And the AK47 is a piston instead of gas operated like the AR. And then you just slide out the bolt assembly and everything like that. And that's just basic right there. That's all the working parts of an AK47. Very simple compared to what we went over with the AR. Just lay that right there. And when you want to take the bolt apart, you just simply push it back and then slide it. The little grooves, you see the little grooves that match up, you just pull it on out and then you can just slide it right out. And that is it right there. That is pretty much stripped down. Now with the AK-47, unlike the AR, you don't have to lube it up a lot, because these things right here, like somebody once said, you can bury this thing in the sand, come back 4 or 5 years later, maybe even 10 years later, it might have rust all over it. If you can kick that bolt open and slap around in there, this thing will shoot. Now I've seen these things fired at me when I was in Iraq, and these things, I mean, they're not most accurate things, but I tell you what, I gotta give you that the round has some punch to it, and it's good up to 300 yards. Well, we got our piston right here for the, like I said, it's piston drum right there for the AK-47. And then you got your bolt right there, and your firing pins inside here. Unlike the AR, you can't take the firing pin out of this. They're pretty much encased inside this steel right here. But I put a little bit of oil down in there with it. Just add that in there, right in there. And clean off some of that excess. And that's pretty much it right there for the field strip. And then you got the AK-47 body. Now putting it back together, I always have a little bit of a tricky part, because you got to remember how that lines up. Line it up and just push that back forward. And when you go to put it, you always want to put the piston in first. And you got to have it, you got to let it drop down inside. Alright, and it slides forward. And everything should be in there. Give it a little bit of a twist in there. You're going to have to slide the buffer screen back in. And this sits perfectly in there. That's pretty much the assembly right there. that's how it would look without the cover on. The receiver cover, just like that. This is your fire and your safety. Of course, when the cover's on there, it'll stop it. You got downs fire, up safety. This is your magazine drop. The magazine just feeds in there just like this. Give it a little twist, and then it's in there. Of course, drop it out, the magazine comes on out. We'll put that cover back on there real quick. Now when you're putting the cover back on, you got to give this a little bit of a push to sit up in there, or it won't even go in there right. And we locked in place. Give it a couple of racks, make sure that everything's working. Give us a dry trigger pull. Sounds like everything's working. Go ahead and put it back on safe. Now, different kinds of magazines that we got here. We got us some Romanian made AK47 round magazines. This one right here is actually made in America, in North Carolina. And these are stamped in the Soviet Union, or this one is a Romanian drum, 75 round drum. Then we got the 30 round drums, or 30 round magazines, I'm sorry. And then I also got a little clip on here so I could double it. And I like to keep them flipped upside down, so when I pop it off, just flip it over and put it back in. This magazine right here is made out of heavy duty plastic, and I like it. It's fits pretty snug in there, and goes in there like so. But that's pretty much the AK-47 right there. Also show you that your rod goes back across the barrel up here up front. It slides in through the bayonet stud, just sits back in like so. And then the cleaning kit also goes back in the bottom of the buttstock, like so. Well folks, that's the AK-47 stripped down real fast and neat. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. AK-47. Thanks for joining me.
And until we see you again, have a blessed day in Yahushua name.